Well, hello. Welcome. Oh, hang on. Chapow. Forgot to turn on one of my lights. I suppose that may be appropriate, considering the blackout Tuesday. Yeah, I played a sorrowful song in hopes that it would match the mood. I'm not super informed about the whole thing. I will be the first to admit, but I do know it's a big deal, and I'd like to contribute in some way, and I know this is one way that I can. Uh, so yeah, but going forward, we're jumping still into the stream tonight, and I'm very much looking forward to chapters 15 and 16. Um, yeah, hope everybody's doing well tonight. I see Coleman's in the chat, and I am ready to jump into a little Ori before we get going with the reading. Yeah. Got some seltzer water. I've got the book here with me, and it will sit beside until it is time to read. So without further ado, let me switch up the angle here and load up some Ori. Sorry, that little pop-up comes up. I'd like to figure out how to make it not pop up, because when my controller's plugged in, it pops up and goes beep, beep, beep. It says, Mitch, you need to go into what is it mode, like that Steam does, like a full screen mode or something that supports controller, and it's been requesting that I go into it every single time just because my controller is plugged in. I don't know why. But yeah, yes, big picture mode. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to get that to stop. I have not looked into it, but if you're wondering what the meh noise was, that is what it was. But let's jump into some Ori, guys. Some Ori and the blind forest. We're gonna find out why this forest is blind. Let's see. Good. Alright. It did pop up. Nice, we're going into Thornfelt Swamp. I'm quite excited. It's actually been a little bit of time since I jumped into Ori. Yesterday I wasn't able to do any Ori. I wasn't able to Ori it up because I was late to the to the stream, very late. I do apologize again. I doubt that will be an issue in the future. I think I'm gonna change up my schedule so that I do start laters on Mondays and Wednesdays. I think 8 o'clock is a fair amount to. Yeah, a fair amount of time to give me. Now let's see. Last we left off in Ori, I was dealing with a certain goober. Don't know if you guys remember him, but I sure do. And I'm, I think I'm ready to get him gone, to go get back what is Ori's. Look at that man. Why doesn't the ground shake when I jump? You know, that's what I want to know. All right, goober, shoot. Hey. Yeah. Shoot over here. Or no, wait. We actually need to shoot down here. Ooh. Alright, last time I did not check what was over here, but this time I want to know. Oh, this way is more of the Thornfelt Swamp. I'm gonna die if I jump into this water, right? I still want to, dude. I hope I get swimming powers at some point in this game. Or he was just grabbing onto the crystal, like no light. Spare this crystal. Spare just one crystal. Come on. All right, I'm gonna check. Hey, I nearly just jumped right into those spikes. Oh man, talk about yeah, nearly. Oh gosh, okay, I can make it. I need some heals. Is this, nope, that does not heal me any. Will this explode? No, it will not. And I can't even get up there. But I want it. How do I break this? Is there a jumpy guy nearby? Or one of them rolly dudes? Rolly dude. Wait a second. Wait a second. Hang on. Let me see if I can. Oh man, no, this is too complicated. Do you see do you see it? You see it down there? You know what I'm talking about? A certain force that is of the three kind, of the thrice kind. A tri power of sorts. What's that doing down there? I mean, that's intentional, right? Huh. I don't know. Oh, what are you doing back? Crystal, I thought I took care of you once and for all. Light, please. Let this one be. Do not destroy this crystal. But I need it for my power, says the light. Yeah, probably on purpose. But light, please. This crystal has done nothing. But I need it. It will power my super big blowy-uppy move. You must destroy it. But no, light. I cannot have this. No. Oh gosh. Alright, this goober is back. And he is no more. Dude, I know. Hey, it wasn't me. It was this light goober floating around me. I'm gonna save real quick. I went over that way. I'm not doing it so hot on health though. Ay. Thank you. I have another soul link. Let's go. Hello? Whoa, excuse me. Excuse me? Excuse me. It didn't do the thing. Alright, come now. Destroy. Wait, but what is up that way? I must know. Ay. Can I make it across that gap though? Oh no. Nope. It would appear not. Well, this is perilous. Okay, come on. Okay, now, do I need to be like hanging on it? Come on. Come on. Come on, come now. There we are. Ay. Ooh, whew. All good. Oh man, dude, light. Why are you always destroying blue crystals? What is it about blue crystals? Are you like Percy Jackson and his mom? Do you just like blue things? Wait a second. Dude, this goober can move. Look at him. Look at him. Did you see him just swoop in there? Oh man, Ori, why can't you move like that? Huh? Riddle me that. Huzzah! Yeah, dude, I made it past. Yeah! I'm on 1 health, though. Still, I will save, I think. Alright, what do I do here? Hey, health! Yes! Oh. Okay, I'm assuming I go down this way now. Oh, go, 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 go. Oh! Oh no. Alright, go. Alright, got that. So I apparently need to stun. I need to stun. Alright, going. Alright. And then go. Ah, I see now. Aha! Huzzah-zizzy-zoo. Take that, you purple thing. Oh, wait, can I make it up there? Oh, I feel like I'm so close. Oh, those were spikes. Those were, in fact, spikes. Okay. I jumped towards that spider, fearing nothing. But I did not look below me. And I say this game would be fun to speedrun. I am a fool. Yeah. I was not fast enough. No. Alright, noted. I cannot jump right away. You know, the controls kind of remind me of Super Meat Boy in a way. You know, I mean, it's like slippery. It's a little slippery. And I mean, that is a good thing, I would say. Slippery does not necessarily mean bad. Ori, climb this post. Climb the post. It is a post. It is very climbable. You climb straight walls. Ori. Yes? Ori. Yes? I need you to climb that pole. No. Ori. No. But I... Fine. Alright, we'll go forward and face the spider that killed us last time. Hi ho ha he. Alright, got that goober. Health! Oh! Well... Yes! Oh wait, no. Do not need to warp. I was in dire need of a well. Refreshing. Very refreshing. I wonder how they're gonna up the ante on when it dude. Oh, I thought he was about to just drop it down and leave it. I was gonna be like, man, you spent all that, you did all that just to drop it down a hole. I think not. You goober. However, that would be a very goober thing to do. And not even a goofy kind of goober thing to do. Just a goober thing to do. Alright, well, he went... Was he over to the left there, or was he down here? Oh, I didn't need health. What the heck? I cannot make it in there, can I? Probably best not to try. I do not say that often, though. It is almost always best to try. Okay, so it was down here. I guess I'll explore that other area later on. Need to follow this goober first and foremost. Oh! Finally, one that I can open! Yeah! Okay, well, hey. Maybe I'm exploring this side of things anyways. Oh, not very far up though. Oh, what was the... I want to explore it all, but I need to stay focused. And hiya, hoo. Ow. Ouch, dude. That was painful. Well, I suppose I should have explored after all. I'll be able to go back there, right? Right? At least I hope so. What's going on here? Oh, I need to go down, don't I? But what is up? What is up, though? Got light, dude. You always gotta be doing that, don't you? Alright, I'm going in. No fear. No fear. No fear. No fear. No fear. Oh, what is that down there? I want it. Okay. Now, let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Whew. I hope I went the right way. Oh, dude. You frog. Dude, he sends a shockwave. He landed a million years to my right. Oh, come on. Come on. I cannot, dude. They make those jumps very frustrating. It's just, I'm an inch away, right? I'm an inch away. Come on. Alright, you. That's right, no spikes to save you this time. I stand corrected. Hey, whew. Okay, all good, all good. Throw that one in there. Okay, I'm assuming I need to escape from this place, but I want to find the goober. So maybe I don't escape? No fear. No fear. Whew. Yeah, easy as cake. No, the crisp. Dude, this light guy needs to relax. Alright, down we go. Oh no. Oh, A. That's nice. I'm gonna bring that back to that original spot. Alright, get me back up here. Thank you. No, I thought coming back up would be much harder, but not that bad. Yoop! And bazam! Bablam! Alright, show me the way. Show me the way. Okay. Alright, I'm assuming he's way back here, right? I don't know. This spot right there looks a little more boss arena-like. There's so much to the left. Can I make... but I can't make it over there, can I? I must try, though. Maybe if they actually let me up onto this wall. Again, they make it so frustrating, dude. I'm an inch away. Alright, so it appears that further that way could be where I need to go, but down this way is almost assuredly where I need to go, right? Hey, E. I think I found that staying closer to... Yep. I thought so. Thought as much. Oh, not that close though. Oh. That died faster than I expected. I'm glad it saved though. That is helpful. Oh, it spawns me at 1 health? Oh god, give me the health, please. Oh, bo bo bo. Oh, bo 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 bo. Okay, this isn't as hard as I'm making it out. Oh. But sometimes they leave little spike-a-doos. Sometimes they don't. Yeah! I bested your little friend. Whew. That was exhilarating. Man, you just don't stop, do you? Little light. Oh, his little looking up animation. What is this? What's this? What is this here? I will grab it. Okay, so that was an actual Goober Man's locale. That was Goober Man's friend's locale. Oh, it healed me up though. That's nice. Ah! Oh, that's right. I couldn't progress further this way because I needed the other piece, of which I now have. Monkey hop Ori. Hop away. Don't bash your head against the wall, Ori. You dingus. Alright, this one I will spare. Alright, here we go. No fear. No fear. Whew. I see you up there, little goober. Not gonna get the best of me this time, huh? And you, spider, you are no mere. Alright. Plop those bad boys in and let me in. Alright. Go and save. Oh, I have a point. Hey. Oh, but I need 2 ability points for the Ultra Light Burst. I really want Cinder Flame. I don't want this Ultra Light Burst. Unless it lets me blow up more things. Like if it increases the power of my of the blast to the point where I can blow up more stuff, like those floors and junk, that would be good. This path doesn't give me like more mobility, does it? Oh, dude, it does. It absolutely does. Yeah, charge dash and oh man. Okay. All right. I see now. I need to go. I need to get this path as well. I'm big on mobility. I did not realize that that would be a part of that. Ow. Ow. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I kind of suck. Hey. Ooh, yahoo. And yahee. Alright, now this, we're approaching goober territory, I think. Definitely goober territory if that one's here. Oh, and especially if this goober's here. Can I cheese him? Nah. Oh, kind of. Hello? Can I, hello? Is there no going back? Man, I just wanted that thing over there. Oh, this isn't the goober at all. This is Leiru. an ancestral tree. Leiru lay here. She was swift, agile, used to cut through the air. Cut through the air, you say? Well, don't mind if I do. Yeah. No wonder they made it impossible to get out. Because I just got a double jump. Hup. Ah, excuse me. Woo. Ah, that is so good. Dude, and just as I was, beginning to complain about things being just barely out of reach, of course, this is when they give you the thing to beat it. Oh, wow. Shoot, that is really clever. They give me a way to get over there, but no way to get back unless I have the double jump. That's good. Hello? Dude, what? That boy's singing. I have a sneaking suspicion that this goober isn't all that bad. He's thick, he is agile, and he hums to himself. These are all attributes of a great person, human, right? Hey, you. Oh, yeah, dude. Ow, ooh, yeah. Man, even with the double jump. Oh yeah, I forget I can't save again though at the soul links that I've previously done. Okay, now I can get up here, I presume. Aye. Get out of here. Yeah. And that was precisely the jump that I was talking about. Man, that feels good. That feels good, right? Whew. Get away. Away with you. Away. I like how Ori just looks away and ducks as the light just kind of takes care of it all. Worry not, little Ori. You just gotta stay alive. Oh, yeah, buddy. Energy cell. Let's go. Looks like I don't need you this time, Crystal. You are safe for now. I'll be back though, don't you worry. Alright, now we can go the other way. Nice, and again, clever, dude. They force you to go to the right, because otherwise you can't make it. But then they give you the tools afterwards. That, man, game designers of Ori, I tip my non-existent hat to you, because you've done well. Wow. I still don't know what is the point of destroying those. Is it some kind of achievement? Why do I blow up these little bulbous blue plants? Bulbous blue plants. It's kind of like a tongue twister. Bulbous blue plants. Bulbous blue plants. Bulbous blue plants. Bulbous blue. That's a tough one, dude. I don't know if I could. Maybe if I focused real hard, I could, but I don't think I will. Well, okay, we have a little more of this goober's lair to reveal and check out. Or he still has not gained the power to go into the foreground. I'm still very disappointed with that. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that would defeat the purpose of the 2D platformer, right? Well, no, what am I saying? Klonoa, right? You guys know Klonoa. I'd like to play through that one. That's one where you jump like forward and back. That and Donkey Kong Country, right? The new ones, right? Tropical Freeze. You do that? Yeah, Klonoa, man. I only know what I know about it because of, I think, um Nitro Rad. I watched his reviews on it, but I haven't played it myself, sadly. It seems like one I would definitely enjoy. I'm a big fan of platformers in general. Hey, yeah, some of the new Kirby's. Sure enough. All right, well, I'm a little bit sad, but we ought to leave it off here, right? I think I'd like to continue, but I will not spoil my formula. Me secret formula. Ay, 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 ay. Me formula. All right, nice. Cool beans. Let me toss my controller to the side, to the wayside. And get into the reading zone. The reading zone. You guys ever been to the reading zone? I think it's like the reading rainbow, but more zone-like. You get me? Did any of you guys watch that show? What was it? The Lions? What is it called? With the reading rainbow and cliffhanger. Dude, I don't know what it was about him, but I absolutely loved Cliffhanger. Did anybody else out there? Do I have some Cliffhanger fanboys with me? Yeah, dude, Reading Between the Lines. Heck, man, if I can be as good as Reading Between the Lions was to me when I was younger, or even just as good as Cliffhanger, I would be a blessed man. Cliffhanger, hanging from a cliff. That's why he's called Cliffhanger. You've never watched Cliffhanger? Dude, it's within the Reading Between the Lines show. They occasionally would just have this bit where there's a guy hanging on a cliff. They call him Cliffhanger, and he be hanging from that cliff. And they just check in on him every once in a while, but it'd be the same thing every time, but I think that's where the comedy comes in. It's very much it's like an acquired taste kind of thing. I'm not even sure why I find it so funny, but I think that's part of it, right? Things where I'm not even sure why I like it or why it's so funny. Sometimes that's just a beautiful thing, right? Oh yeah. Cliffhanger, hanging from a cliff. That's why he's called Cliffhanger. Sweet. Speaking of little theme songs, I think we're gonna play Unfold, the intro theme created by yours truly, and jump into the reading here. In between chapters, I just want a fair warning. Whenever we get to the break, I'm gonna go back to the blackout. I did it at the beginning, and I'm gonna leave a 5-minute break for that same blackout. During what would normally be the break. So we'll be doing that whenever we come to the break. But yeah, just want to make sure people know if the screen goes black, that is an intentional thing. All right. Let me load up the thing. I'll mute my mic, play the dealio, and then we'll jump in. Dude. So, so with the music at the beginning, I turned it down to like slowly fade it out by turning down my headphone input into the stream. So you guys did not hear any of that. Well, that was me being a doofus in silence for about a minute and 30 seconds. Dude, whoops indeed. Oh, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. And it is but only me doing the behind the scenes work. Well. Yeah, dude, I really do apologize. That was my bad. Hopefully me in silence dancing around was entertaining enough. But yes, now without further ado, I will play the intro theme. I'm actually gonna run and hit the restroom real quick. Encourage you to do the same, stretch out a little bit, and I'll be back with you in but a moment. Alright, now the song ought to be working. Enjoy. Join me for an adventure, oh, much like any other, with twists and turns and plot devices, words and wonder. Now my advice is listen close. What makes this story different is the teller and the told. This one's ours and it's waiting to unfold. So come be merry with me. Yeah. Oh, come be merry with me. Come on, be merry with me. Join me for an adventure, oh, much like any other, with twists and turns and plot devices, words and wonder. Now my advice is listen close. What makes this story different is the teller and the told. This one's ours and it's waiting to unfold. Well, my headphones tether me. Okay, sorry, I set my glasses down so far away, and I was not willing to get up out of my chair or take off my headphones. So I had to reach a little bit. But I do believe that there is an adventure awaiting to unfold. And this one is ours. So, let us begin. Hope everybody's been having a splendiferous day, and that this tops off the day quite nicely. Last we left off, our hero daringly leapt from about, what was it, like 300 feet up in the air. He encountered an echidna and the echidna and a chimera, and her pet chimera, a lion-headed, snake-tailed, goat-esque creature that had horrible fangs and an even deadlier tail. And he basically stood no match for it. Perseus was about to die. He'd been bitten by the tail. this all occurred because they had a layover in a city in Mississippi, and Annabeth wanted to go sightseeing. So they wound up at this bridge. That had like a museum in it. They went to the top of the bridge and was able to see out the windows and all that good stuff. But this is where he encountered a chihuahua and a big fat lady who turned out to be the echidna and the chimera. They wound up attacking Perseus, despite there being other humans nearby. Or humans, sorry, not other, they're not human. Despite there being humans nearby. Blew a hole in the side of where they were, and then, backed Percy into a corner. He felt he was about to die, so instead of being devoured by the chimera, he jumped, falling roughly 315 feet or so down to the surface of the water, which should have splattered him, but he wound up not splattered. Though it was a river, it still was water, so he was cradled into the water and healed up and felt fresh as the dickens and was ready to go. Probably still a little phased and scared by the near-death experience, but he encountered a water spirit of some kind, and she told him what his next step was to be. And then he met up with his friends and realized that Grover and Annabeth, and realized that the news people and there were a ton of people surrounding the scene of what had just occurred, and it turns out that yet again Perseus was believed to be the master criminal of all this, thinking they believe he is like a kid on the run and that he murdered his mom or something along those lines, or is suspected to have. Kind of curious and interesting how the world is depicting Perseus's adventure, despite him having heroic intentions. So, with that, we left off at chapter 15. Are you ready? Because I certainly am. All right, let's get to it. This is Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief, by Rick Riordan. A god buys us cheeseburgers. The next afternoon, June 14th, 7 days before the solstice, our train rolled into Denver. We hadn't eaten since the night before in the dining car, somewhere in Kansas. We hadn't taken a shower since Half-Blood Hill, and I was certain that was obvious. Let's try to contact Chiron, Annabeth said. I want to tell him about your talk with the river spirit. We can't use phones, right? I'm not talking about phones. We wandered through downtown for about half an hour, though I wasn't sure what Annabeth was looking for. The air was dry and hot, which felt weird after the humidity of St. Louis. Everywhere we turned, the Rocky Mountains seemed to be staring at me, like a tidal wave about to crash into the city. Finally, we found an empty, do-it-yourself car wash. We veered toward the stall furthest from the street, keeping our eyes open for patrol cars. We were 3 adolescents hanging out at a car wash without a car. Any cop worth his donuts would figure we were up to no good. What exactly are we doing? I asked, as Grover took out the spray gun. It's 75 cents, he grumbled. I've only got 2 quarters left. Annabeth? Don't look at me, she said. The dining car wiped me out. I fished out my last bit of change and passed it over to Grover, which left me 2 nickels and 1 drachma from Medusa's place. Excellent, Grover said. We couldn't do it with a spray bottle, of course, but the connection isn't any good. We could do it with a spray bottle, of course, but the connection isn't as good, and my arm gets tired of pumping." "What are you talking about?" He fed in the quarters and set the knob to fine mist. IMing. Instant messaging? Iris messaging, Annabeth corrected. The rainbow goddess Iris carries messages for the gods. If you know how to ask, and she's not too busy, she'll do the same for all half-bloods. You summoned the goddess with a spray gun? Grover pointed the nozzle in the air, and water hissed out in a thick white mist. Unless you know an easier way to make a rainbow. Sure enough, late afternoon light filtered through the vapor and broke into colors. Annabeth held her palm out to me. Drachma, please. I handed it over. She raised the coin over her head. Oh, goddess, accept our offering. She threw the drachma into the rainbow. It disappeared in a golden shimmer. Half-Blood Hill, Annabeth requested. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, I was looking through the mist at Strawberry Fields and the Long Island Sound in the distance. We seemed to be on the porch of the big house. Standing with his back to us at the railing was a sandy-haired guy in shorts and an orange tank top. He was holding a bronze sword and seemed to be staring intently at something down in the meadow. Luke! I called. He turned, eyes wide. I could swear he was standing 3 feet in front of me through the screen of mist. Except I could only see the part of him that appeared in the rainbow. Percy! His scarred face broke into a grin. Is that Annabeth, too? Thank the gods! Are you guys okay? We're, fine, Annabeth stammered. She was madly straightening her dirty t-shirt, trying to comb the loose hair out of her face. We thought... Chiron, I mean... he's downstairs, or he's down he's down at the cabins. Luke's smile faded. We're having some issues with the campers. Listen, is everything cool with you? Is Grover all right? I'm right here, Grover called. He held the nozzle out to one side and stepped into Luke's line of vision. What kind of issues? Just then, a big Lincoln Continental pulled into the car wash with its stereo turned to maximum hip-hop. As the car slid into the next stall, the bass from the subwoofers vibrated so much it shook the pavement. Chiron had to... What's all that noise? I'll take care of it, Annabeth yelled back, looking very relieved to have an excuse to get out of sight. Grover, come on. What? Grover said. But... Give Percy the nozzle and come on, she ordered. Grover muttered something about girls being harder to understand than the oracle at Delphi. Then he handed me the spray gun and followed Annabeth. I readjusted the hose so I could keep the rainbow going and still see Luke. Chiron had to break up a fight, Luke shouted to me over the music. Things are pretty tense here, Percy. Word leaked out about the Zeus-Poseidon standoff. We're still not sure how. Probably the same scumbag who summoned the Hellhound. Now the campers are starting to take sides. It's shaping up like a Trojan War all over again. Aphrodite, Ares, and Apollo are backing up Poseidon, more or less. Athena is backing Zeus. I shuddered to think that Clarice's cabin would ever be on my dad's side for anything. In the next stall, I heard Annabeth and some guy arguing with each other. Then the music's volume decreased drastically. Volume. Dude, tripping over words is funny. So, what's your status? Luke asked me. Chiron will be sorry he missed you. I told him pretty much everything, including my dreams. It felt so good to see him. to feel like I was back at camp even for a few minutes, that I didn't realize how long I had talked until the beeper went off on the spray machine, and I realized I only had one more minute before the water shut off. "I wish I could be there," Luke told me. "We can't help much from here, I'm afraid. But listen, it had to be Hades who took the Master Bolt. He was there at Olympus at the winter solstice. I was chaperoning a field trip, and we saw him. But Chiron said the gods can't take each other's magic items directly." "That's true," Luke said, looking troubled. "Still, Hades has the Helm of Darkness. How could anybody else sneak into the throne room and steal the Master Bolt? You'd have to be invisible." We were both silent, until Luke seemed to realize what he'd said. "Oh, hey," he protested. "I didn't mean Annabeth. She and I have known each other for forever. She would never. I mean, she's like a little sister to me." I wonder if Annabeth would like that description. In the stall next to us, the music stopped completely. A man screamed in terror, car doors slammed, and the Lincoln peeled out of the car wash. "You'd better go see what that was," Luke said. "Listen, are you wearing the flying shoes? I'll feel better if I know they've done you some good." "Oh, yeah." I tried not to sound like a guilty liar. "Yeah, they've come in handy." "Really?" He grinned. "They fit and everything?" The water shut off. The mist started to evaporate. "Well, take care of yourself out there in Denver," Luke called, his voice getting fainter. "And tell Grover it'll be better this time. Nobody will get turned into a pine tree if he jests." But the mist was gone, and Luke's image faded to nothing. I was alone in a wet, empty car wash stall. Annabeth and Grover came around the corner, laughing, but stopped when they saw my face. Annabeth's smile faded. "What happened, Percy? What did Luke say?" "Not much," I lied, my stomach feeling as empty as a big 3 cabin. "Come on, let's find some dinner." A few minutes later, we were both sitting at a booth in a gleaming chrome diner. All around us, families were eating burgers and drinking malts and sodas. Finally, the waitress came over. She raised an eyebrow skeptically. "Well?" I said, "We, want to order dinner." "Y'all have money to pay for it?" Grover's lip quivered. I was afraid he would start bleeding, or worse, start eating the linoleum. Annabeth looked ready to pass out from hunger. I was trying to think up a sob story for the waitress when a rumble shook the whole building. A motorcycle the size of a baby elephant had pulled up to the curb. All conversation in the diner stopped. The motorcycle's headlights glared red. Its gas tank had flames painted on it, and a shotgun holster riveted to either side, complete with shotguns. The seat was leather, but leather that looked like, well, Caucasian human skin. The guy on the bike would have made a pro wrestler's run for mama. He was dressed in a red muscle shirt and black jeans, and had a black leather duster with a hunting knife strapped to his thigh. He wore red wraparound shades, and he had the cruelest, most brutal face I'd ever seen. Handsome, I guess, but wicked, with an oily black crew cut and cheeks that were scarred from many, many fights. The weird thing was, I felt like I'd seen his face somewhere before. As he walked into the diner, a hot, dry wind blew through the place. All the people rose, as if they were hypnotized. But the biker waved his hand dismissively, and they all sat down again. Everybody went back to their conversations. The waitress blinked, as if somebody had just pressed the rewind button on her brain. She asked us again. "Y'all have any money to pay for this?" The biker said, "It's on me." He slid into our booth, which was way too small for him, and crowded Annabeth against the window. He looked up at the waitress, who was gaping at him, and said, "Are you still here?" He pointed at her, and she stiffened. She turned as if she'd been spun around, then marched back toward the kitchen. The biker looked at me. I couldn't see his eyes behind the red shades, but bad feelings started boiling in my stomach. Anger, resentment, bitterness. I wanted to hit a wall. I wanted to pick a fight with somebody. Who did this guy think he was? He gave me a wicked grin. "So, you're the old seaweeds kid, huh?" I should have been surprised, or scared, but instead, I felt like I was looking at my stepdad, Gabe. I wanted to rip this guy's head off. "What's it to you?" Annabeth's eyes flashed me a warning. "Percy, this is..." The biker raised his hand. "It's okay," he said. "I don't mind a little attitude, long as you remember who's the boss. You know who I am, little cousin?" Then it struck me why this guy looked so familiar. He had the same vicious sneer as some of the kids at Camp Half-Blood, the ones from Cabin 5. "You're Clarice's dad," I said. "Ares. God of War." Ares grinned and took off his shades. Where his eyes should have been, there was only fire. Empty sockets glowing with miniature nuclear explosions. "That's right, punk. I heard you broke Clarice's spear." "She was asking for it." "Probably. That's cool. I don't fight my kids' fights, you know. What I'm here for... I heard you were in town. I got a little proposition for you." The waitress came back with heaping trays of food. Cheeseburgers, fries, onion rings, and chocolate shakes. Ares handed her a few gold drachmas. She looked nervously at the coins. "But these aren't..." Ares pulled out a huge knife and started cleaning his fingernails. "Problem, sweetheart?" The waitress swallowed, then left with the gold. "You can't do that," I told Ares. "You can't just threaten people with a knife." Ares laughed. "Are you kidding? I love this country. Best place since Sparta. Don't you carry a weapon, punk? You should. Dangerous world out here. Which brings me to my proposition. I need you to do me a favor." "What favor could I do for a god?" "Something a god doesn't have time to do himself. It's nothing much. I left my shield at an abandoned water park here in town. I was going on a little date with my girlfriend. We were interrupted. Left my shield behind. I want you to fetch it for me." "Why don't you go back and get it yourself?" The fire in his eye sockets glowed a little hotter. "Why don't I turn you into a prairie dog and run you over with my Harley?" "Because I don't feel like it. A god is giving you an opportunity to prove yourself, Percy Jackson. Will you prove yourself a coward?" He leaned forward. "Or maybe you only fight when there's a river to dive into, so your daddy can protect you." I wanted to punch this guy, but somehow I knew he was waiting for that. Ares' power was causing my anger. He'd love it if I attacked. I didn't want to give him the satisfaction. "We're not interested," I said. "If I've already got a quest. Ares' fiery eyes made me see things I didn't want to see. Blood and smoke and corpses on the battlefield.
I know all about your quest, punk. When that item was first stolen, Zeus sent his best out looking for it. Apollo, Athena, Artemis, and me, naturally. If I couldn't sniff out a weapon that powerful.
He licked his lips, as if the very thought of the master bolt made him hungry.
Well, if I couldn't find it, you got no hope. Nevertheless, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. Your dad and I go way back. After all, I'm the one who told him my suspicions about old corpse breath.
You told him Hades stole the bolt?
Sure. Framing somebody to start a war. Oldest trick in the book. I recognized it immediately. In a way, you got me to thank for your little quest.
Thanks, I grumbled.
Hey, I'm a generous guy. Just do my little job, and I'll help you on your way. I'll arrange a ride west for you and your friends.
We're doing fine on our own.
Yeah, right. No money, no wheels, no clue what you're up against. Help me out. Maybe I'll tell you something you need to know. Something about your mom.
My mom? He grinned.
That got your attention. The water park is a mile west of Delancey. You can't miss it. Look for the Tunnel of Love ride.
What interrupted your date? I asked. Something scare you off? Ares bared his teeth, but I'd seen his threatening look before on Clarice. There was something false about it, almost like he was nervous.
You're lucky you met me, punk. And not one of the other Olympians. They're not as forgiving of rudeness as I am. I'll meet you back here when you're done. Don't disappoint me.
After that, I must have fainted, or fallen into a trance, because when I opened my eyes again, Ares was gone. I might have thought the conversation had been a dream, but Annabeth and Grover's expressions told me otherwise.
Not good, Grover said. Ares sought you out, Percy. This is not good.
I stared out the window. The motorcycle had disappeared. Did Ares really know something about my mom? Or was he just playing with me? Now that he was gone, all the anger drained out of me. I realized Ares must love to mess with people's emotions. That was his power. Cranking up the passions so badly, they clouded your ability to think. It's probably some kind of trick, I said. Forget Ares. Let's just go. We can't, Annabeth said. Look, I hate Ares as much as anybody. But you don't ignore gods unless you want serious bad fortune. He wasn't kidding about turning you into a rodent. I looked down at my cheeseburger, which suddenly didn't seem so appetizing. Why does he need us? Maybe it's a problem that requires brains, Annabeth said. Ares has strength. That's all he has. Even strength has to bow to wisdom sometimes. But this water park, he acted almost scared. What would make a war god run away like that? Annabeth and Grover glanced nervously at each other. Annabeth said, I'm afraid we'll have to find out. The sun was sinking behind the mountains by the time we found the water park. Judging from the sign, it once had been called Waterland, but now some of the letters were smashed out, so it read, Wat Rad. The main gate was padlocked and topped with barbed wire. Inside, huge dry water slides and tubes and pipes curled everywhere, leading into empty pools. Old tickets and advertisements fluttered around the asphalt. With night coming on, the place looked sad and creepy. If Ares brings his girlfriend here for a date, I said, staring up at the barbed wire, I'd hate to see what she looked like. Percy, Annabeth warned, be more respectful. Why? I thought you hated Ares. He's still a god, and his girlfriend is very temperamental. You don't want to insult her looks, Grover added. Who is she? Echidna? No. Aphrodite, Grover said, a little dreamily. Goddess of love. I thought she was married to somebody, I said. Hephaestus. What's your point? He said. Oh, I suddenly felt the need to change the subject. So, how do we get in? Maya! Grover shouted, and his shoes sprouted wings. He flew over the fence, did an unintended somersault in midair, then stumbled to a landing on the opposite side. He dusted off his jeans, as if he'd planned the whole thing. You guys coming? Annabeth and I had to climb the old-fashioned way, holding down the barbed wire for each other as we crawled over the top. The shadows grew long as we walked through the park, checking out the attractions. There was Ankle Biter Island, Head Over Wedgie, and Dude, Where's My Swimsuit? No monsters came to get us. Nothing made the slightest noise. We found a souvenir shop that had been left open. Merchandise still lined the shelves. Snow globes, pencils, postcards, and racks of clothes, Annabeth said. Fresh clothes. Yeah, I said, but you can't just watch me. She snatched an entire row of stuff off the racks and disappeared into a changing room. A few minutes later, she came out in Waterland flower print shorts, big red Waterland t-shirt, and commemorative Waterland surf shoes. A Waterland backpack was slung over her shoulder, obviously stuffed with more goodies. What the heck? Grover shrugged. Soon, all three of us were decked out like walking advertisements for the defunct theme park. We continued searching for the Tunnel of Love. I got the feeling the whole park was holding its breath. So, Ares and Aphrodite, I said to keep my mind off the growing dark. They have a thing going? That's all gossip, Percy, Annabeth told me. 3,000-year-old gossip. What about Aphrodite's husband? Well, you know, she said. Hephaestus, the blacksmith. He was crippled when he was a baby, thrown off Mount Olympus by Zeus. So, he isn't exactly handsome. Clever with his hands and all, but Aphrodite isn't into brains and talent, you know? She likes bikers. Whatever. Hephaestus knows? Oh, sure, Annabeth said. He caught them together once. I mean, literally caught them. In a golden net. And invited all the gods to come and laugh at them. Hephaestus is always trying to embarrass them. That's why they meet in out-of-the-way places. Like... She stopped, looking straight ahead. Like that. In front of us was an empty pool that would have been awesome for skateboarding. It was at least 50 yards across and shaped like a bowl. Around the rim, a dozen bronze statues of Cupid stood guard with wings spread and bows ready to fire. On the opposite side from us, a tunnel opened up, probably where the water flowed into when the pool was full. The sign above it read, Thrill ride of love. This is not your parents' tunnel of love. Grover crept toward the edge.
Guys, look.
Marooned at the bottom of the pool was a pink and white two-seater boat with a canopy over the top and little hearts painted all over it. In the left seat, glinting in the fading light, was Ares' shield, a polished circle of bronze. This is too easy, I said. So we just walk down there and get it? Annabeth ran her fingers along the base of the nearest Cupid statue. There's a Greek letter carved here, she said. Eta. I wonder... Grover, I said, you smell any monsters? He sniffed the wind.
Nothing.
Nothing like in the arch and you didn't smell the echidna, nothing, or really nothing? Grover looked hurt.
I told you. That was underground.
Okay, I'm sorry. I took a deep breath. I'm going down there.
I'll go with you.
Grover didn't sound too enthusiastic, but I got the feeling he was trying to make up for what happened in St. Louis. No, I told him. I want you to stay up top with the flying shoes. You're the Red Baron, a flying ace, remember? I'll be counting on you for backup in case something goes wrong. Grover puffed up his chest a little.
Sure, but what could go wrong?
I don't know. Just a feeling. Annabeth, come with me. Are you kidding? She looked at me as if I'd just dropped from the moon. Her cheeks were bright red. What's the problem now? I demanded. Me? Go with you to the thrill ride of love? How embarrassing is that? What if somebody saw me? Who's going to see you? But my face was burning red now, too. Leave it to a girl to make everything complicated. Fine, I told her. I'll do it myself. But when I started down the side of the pool, she followed me, muttering about how boys always mess things up. We reached the boat. The shield was propped up on one seat, and next to it was a lady's silk scarf. I tried to imagine Ares and Aphrodite here. A couple of gods meeting in a junked-out amusement park ride. Why? Then I noticed something I hadn't seen from up top. Mirrors, all the way around the rim of the pool, facing this spot. We could see ourselves no matter which direction we looked. That must be it. While Ares and Aphrodite were smooching with each other, they could look at their favorite people. Themselves. I picked up the scarf. It shimmered pink, and the perfume was indescribable. Rose, or mountain laurel. Something good. I smiled, a little dreamy, and was about to rub the scarf against my cheek when Annabeth ripped it out of my hand and stuffed it in her pocket. Oh no, you don't. Oh no, you don't. Stay away from that love magic. What? Just get the shield, seaweed brain, and let's get out of here. The moment I touched the shield, I knew we were in trouble. My hand broke something that had been connecting it to the dashboard. A cobweb, I thought. But then I looked at a strand of it on my palm and saw it was some kind of metal filament. So fine, it was almost invisible. A tripwire. Wait, Annabeth said. Too late. There's another Greek letter on the side of the boat. Another Edda. This is a trap. Noise erupted all around us. Noise erupted all around us, of a million gears grinding, as if the whole pool were turning into one giant machine. Grover yelled, Guys! Up on the rim, the Cupid statues were drawing their bows into firing position. Before I could suggest taking cover, they shot. But not at us. They fired at each other, across the rim of the pool. Silky cables trailed from the arrows, arcing across the pool and anchoring where they landed to form a huge golden asterisk. The smaller metallic threads started weaving together magically between the main strands, making a net. "We have to get out," I said. "Duh," Annabeth said. I grabbed the shield and we ran. But going up the slope of the pool was not nearly as easy as going down. "Come on!" Grover shouted. He was trying to hold open a section of the net for us, but wherever he touched it, the golden threads started to wrap around his hands. Cupid's heads popped open. Out came video cameras. Spotlights rose up all around the pool, blinding us with illumination, and a loudspeaker voice boomed. "Live to Olympus in 1 minute. 59 seconds. 58 Hephaestus!" Annabeth screamed. "I'm so stupid! Edda is H. He made this trap to catch his wife with Ares. Now we're going to be broadcast live to Olympus and look like absolute fools." We'd almost made it to the rim when the row of mirrors opened like hatches and 1,000 of tiny metallic things poured out. Annabeth screamed. It was an army of wind-up, creepy crawlies. Bronze gear bodies, spindly legs, little pincer mouths, all scuttling towards us in a wave of cackling, whirling metal. "Spiders!" Annabeth said. Ah! I'd never seen her like this before. She fell backwards in terror and almost got overwhelmed by the spider robots before I pulled her up and dragged her back toward the boat. The things were coming out from all around the rim now, millions of them, flooding toward the center of the pool, completely surrounding us. I told myself they probably weren't programmed to kill, just corral us and bite us and make us look stupid. Then again, this was a trap meant for gods, and we were not gods. Annabeth and I climbed into the boat. I started kicking away the spiders as they swarmed aboard. I yelled at Annabeth to help me, but she was too paralyzed to do much more than scream. 30, 39, called the loudspeaker. The spiders started spitting out strands of metal threads, trying to tie us down. The strands were easy enough to break at first, but there were so many of them, and the spiders just kept coming. I kicked one away from Annabeth's leg, and its pincers took a chunk out of my new surf shoe. Grover hovered above the pool in his flying sneakers, trying to pull the net loose, but it wouldn't budge. "Think," I told myself. "Think!" The Tunnel of Love entrance was under the net. We could use it as an exit, except it was blocked by a million robot spiders. 15, 14, the loudspeaker called. Water, I thought. Where does the ride's water come from? Then I saw them, huge water pipes behind the mirrors where the spiders had come from, and up above the net, next to one of the cupids, a glass-windowed booth that must have been the controller station. "Grover!" I yelled. "Get into that booth! Find the on switch!" "But do it!" It was a crazy hope, but it was our only chance. The spiders were all over the prow of the boat now, and Annabeth was screaming her head off. I had to get us out of there. Grover was in the controller's booth now, slamming away at the buttons. 5, 4... Grover looked up at me hopeless, raising his hands. He was letting me know that he'd pushed every button, but still nothing was happening. I closed my eyes and thought about waves, rushing water, the Mississippi River. I felt a familiar tug in my gut. I tried to imagine that I was dragging the ocean all the way to Denver. 2, 1, 0... Water exploded out of the pipes. It roared into the pool, sweeping away the spiders. I pulled Annabeth into the seat next to me and fastened her seatbelt just as the tidal wave slammed into our boat. Over the top, slammed into our boat over the top, whisking the spiders away and dousing us completely, but not capsizing us. The boat turned, lifted in the flood, and spun in circles around the whirlpool. The water was full of short-circuiting spiders, some of them smashing against the pool's concrete walls with such force they burst. Spotlights glared down at us. The Cupid cams were rolling, live to Olympus. But I could only concentrate on controlling the boat. I willed it to ride the current, to keep away from the wall. Maybe it was my imagination, but the boat seemed to respond. At least it didn't break into a million pieces. We spun around one last time, the water level now almost high enough to shred us against the metal net. Then the boat's nose turned towards the tunnel. We rocketed through into the darkness. Annabeth and I held tight, both of us screaming as the boat shot curls and hugged corners, and took 45-degree plunges past pictures of Romeo and Juliet and a bunch of other Valentine's Day stuff. Then we were out of the tunnel, the night air whistling through our hair as the boat barreled straight toward the exit. If the ride had been in working order, we would have sailed off a ramp between the golden gates of love and splashed down safely into the exit pool. But there was a problem. The gates of love were chained. 2 boats that had been washed out of the tunnel before us now piled against the barricade. One submerged, the other cracked in half. Unfasten your seatbelt, I yelled to Annabeth. Are you crazy? Unless you want to get smashed to death. I strapped Ares' shield to my arm. We're going to have to jump for it. My idea was simple and insane. As the boat struck, we would use its force like a springboard to jump over the gate. I'd heard of people surviving car crashes that way, getting thrown 30 or 40 feet from an accident. With luck, we would land in the pool. Annabeth seemed to understand. She gripped my hand as the gates got closer. On my mark, I said. No, on my mark. What? Simple physics, she yelled. Force times trajectory angle. Fine, I shouted. On your mark. She hesitated. Then yelled, Now! Crack! Annabeth was right. If we jumped when I thought we should have, we would have crashed into the gates. She got us maximum lift. Unfortunately, that was a little more than we needed. Our boat smashed into the pile-up. We were thrown into the air, straight over the gates, over the pool, and down toward the solid asphalt. Something grabbed me from behind. Annabeth yelled, Ouch! Grover. In midair, he had grabbed me by the shirt and Annabeth by the arm and was trying to pull us out of the crash landing, but Annabeth and I had all the momentum. You're too heavy, Grover said. We're going down. We spiraled toward the ground, Grover doing his best to slow the fall. We smashed into a photo board, Grover's head going straight into the hole where tourists would put their faces, pretending to be Nunu, the friendly whale. Annabeth and I tumbled to the ground, banged up, but alive. Ares' shield was still on my arm. Once we caught our breath, Annabeth and I got Grover out of the photo board and thanked him for saving our lives. I looked back at the thrill ride of love. The water was subsiding. Our boat had been smashed to pieces against the gates. 100 yards away, at the entrance pool, the Cupids were still filming. The statues had swiveled so that their cameras were trained straight on us, the spotlights in our faces. Show's over, I yelled. Thank you. Good night. The Cupids turned back to their original positions. The lights shut off. The park went quiet and dark again, except for the gentle trickle of water into the thrill ride of love's exit pool. I wondered if Olympus had gone to a commercial break, or if our ratings had been any good. I hated being teased. I hated being tricked. I had plenty of experience handling bullies who liked to do that stuff to me. I hefted the shield on my arm and turned to my friends. We need to have a little talk with Ares. Well, well. That was an intense chapter. I actually remember that chapter. Ooh, a little killer on my voice. A lot of yelling and and that gruff voice of Ares. Whew. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. I know one thing that I really loved about Ares be scaries. Man, Ares do be scaries. One thing that I forgot about, which I loved, or sorry, one thing that I loved so much about this book when I was younger was that it taught me like a little more about Greek mythology, oddly enough. Because I think like it really does draw from how it really used to be, right? How the Greek myths used to go and the knowledge from back then. You know, for instance, Ares and Aphrodite really had an affair going on, right? Or at least, you know, that was in the thing. Clarice kind of sounds like you're saying Ares. Yep. I don't think that's a mistake there. Clarice. Oh wait, was it not clear enough though? Shoot. As in when I said Clarice, it sounded like I was saying Ares. I hope not. That actually would be a mistake, and I would hope I would avoid that. But definitely let me know. I'll do my best to avoid that in the future. I like Ares though. He's a goober. Okay. All right. I was right in thinking, or what I thought at first was how it was. My bad. Yeah, no. I get you. Clarice, Ares. Clarice and Ares. That's fun. Clever. I dig that. Yeah, that chapter was, I don't know. Sorry, I'm a little genuinely out of breath. I also like how the third account of their running into danger wound up not being another monster. I thought that was clever too, or rather, just well done by Rick Riordan. You know, I find that because otherwise it would start to fall into a formula. You know, right? They would stop at partway, you know, into their journey. They would find another monster, and then you know, Percy would find a way to get out of it or defeat it. But this was cool. However, it kept to the theme of water being what helps them escape. You still have that connecting factor, which I dig. All the dangerous scenarios, they have enough subtle differences that it keeps it fresh. I like that. Whew. Also, I don't know how much you guys love Percy and Annabeth, you know, as a little duo. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know how much you guys love Percy and Annabeth as a little duo, but I find it adorable and I love their little interactions. is very cute. Yeah, man. And dude, what man, watching their little relationship unfold throughout the stories was unquestionably my favorite part growing up. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. I mean, was anybody else out there more into these kind of books when they were younger because of the romance? Not even because I recognize that we talked a little about the superpowers part of things in the last episode of Mary Mitch. But can we talk about the romance for a second? I know there's not much at the moment, but it's subtle in this first book, and as it goes, it only gets, I don't know, it only gets cuter and more adorable. And I love it lots. It's so friggin' wholesome, dude. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about that. Just I really dig the romance. And what about the bromance? Grover and Percy. They bros. What would you guys rather have? The flying shoes or the invisibility cap? This is the last question I'll ask, and then we'll go on to the break. That was a bit of a longer chapter. I'm gonna make sure we have enough time for this. Oh, dang, dude, Keaton, you got it right. Heck yeah. Riptide. I mean, I gave you two options, but you chose correctly. Nice. The shoes. I mean, yeah. I think I'd go with the shoes. Who doesn't want to fly, man? I mean, come on. Riptide though would be sick. And does it double as a normal pen? Can you actually use it as a pen? Because that'd be even cooler. I think that would sell me on it. Made up his mind a long time ago. No doubt, man. No doubt. I mean, I did think that was the coolest thing. Having a sword that click, or actually, sorry, you flip it, and then it becomes a sword in your hand. That's pretty sick. Anybody else? I think we got one other viewer. Would you rather have Riptide, the shape-shifting pen, the invisibility cap that Annabeth has, or the flying shoes that Grover's got? Dude, the flying shoes would be so fun. I mean, it's like Heelys, but even better, right? Do you think, I mean, I feel like we might even have that one day, right? Think we'll develop just like hover shoes? At the very least, like casual hover shoes, right? I feel like that would be a marketable thing that's gonna come at some point. Yeah, hover shoes, dude. Well, I feel like there probably are already hover shoes. But do you think eventually in the future we'll have actual like flying shoes? Or would it even be in shoe form? Would it be like a suit? Not like an Iron Man suit, but just straight up like a tracksuit or something that lets you zip out of there, fly off. That'd be pretty sweet. I'm gonna patent that. A Merry Mitch original. Yeah, now I just need to know the science behind it. Either that or make a deal with the god of the underworld, or with the thing in the pit. I could make a deal with that thing in the pit. If you guys actually came across that in your dreams, would you pay it any mind? You know, the thing that Percy encounters that's in the big abyss, which is, I mean, it's Tartarus. The thing at the bottom of Tartarus. Would you make a deal with it? Would you trust it? Or would you not pay it any mind because it was only a dream? I feel like I would. I mean, if I just came across it in my day to day life, like I just went to bed tonight and had a dream like that, I'd be like, I don't know. Well, heck, it's hard for me to say, right? Because me in a dream, I feel like is not fully me unless I start to lucid dream or something. Well, anyways, I think because I read Joseph Campbell, it probably indicate to me I need to do some deep soul searching. Yeah, yeah, probably. I find that when I have dreams like along those lines, or even just dreams that are clear, like very clear to me, there's something within it that tells me something, right? So if I had a dream like that, I would imagine there would be something going on in my life where I had to either trust someone or something, or not trust someone or something. In other words, I feel it would reflect, yeah, something in real life. Well, nice. That was a pretty good chapter. Chapter 15. Good old Percy and Annabeth took a trip through the Love Boat and barely escaped without being humiliated in front of all of Olympus. I'm assuming Olympus has, more people than just the gods, right? They have, like, do they have angels? Do they have just, well, I know they have lesser gods, like some of them, right? But who else populates Olympus? Do they have servants and junk? I mean, it's meant to be a perfect place, right? Or I guess not necessarily perfect, because the gods, at least in Greek mythology, were not set up to be perfect beings. Simply immortal and very powerful. Some of them wise. Well, anyways, I feel I've babbled and rambled for long enough, or for a while now. So, unless anybody has any final thoughts on this chapter, I'm gonna go ahead to the break and take a deep breath, drink some water, use the bathroom, and miss you guys a whole awful lot. Just so you know, fear not if the screen goes black. That is a meaningful and purposeful decision on my part, to have my breaks today on Blackout Tuesday be a blackout. I'll play some somber music, or some more relaxing music, or ambience of some kind, and have it just be the black screen for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna hold to it being 5 minutes, so I hope you guys stick around. If you want to, mute the thing and click away, that's okay. But I wanted to, engage in that today, because I like I said at the beginning, I'll be the first to admit I'm not super informed about it, and I don't know, I don't even feel comfortable speaking on like what I do know about it. But I at least want to encourage the people who do know a lot about it and are speaking out and doing good stuff for it. So I wanted to do something. And that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead to the break. Much love, my wildflowers, and I'll be right back. It's about 7:45 right now. So I'll be back no later than 7:50. All right, it's a done deal. It's a promise. Wink, wonk. That's a promise wink. Have you ever had a promise wink? Now you have. All right, cool. I'll quit rambling. Don't go nowhere. Come back in about 5 minutes. I hope to see you then. Much love, my wildflowers. Get up, go stretch, get yourself some water and a snack-a-do, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, love you guys. I will see you very soon. I'll post in the chat when I'm coming back. I'll post in the chat that it's 7:50 that I'm coming back. Alright. Goodbye for a little bit. My butt hurts. Sorry, I just figured you guys might need to know. Anyways, sorry. I feel as though I may have ruined the mood. Yeah, that was a good Tuesday blackout. Yeah, I had the thought to do it only a little bit before the stream, but I'm glad I did. Think it's important. And I'm grateful that you guys are willing to see it through along with me, because it's important to do something, especially if there is a platform for which to do it on. Cool. Okay. How's everybody feeling? Have we taken a deep breath, stretched a little, gotten up? Did you get some water? I got my completely normal sized water bottle. Let's see. Snoopy, you feeling alright? Doing good? Fist bump? Snoopy, come on, man. Oh, I think I realized why he hasn't ever given me a fist bump. It's a paw bump for him, right? Is that? Yeah. I'm gonna leave him be for now, though. He's probably mad. He's probably angry at me for calling it a fist bump for so long. Anyways, he'll still hang out with us, certainly. I'm glad I got Snoopy by my side, along with all you lovely wildflowers. Honestly, honest to goodness, I just want to, before we get into our next chapter, I do want to thank Cramplesworth and Kate Tonamore, my two loveliest of wildflowers. What are your colors? What color would you be if you truly are a wildflower? What color are you? I would like to know. I think I would be orange. Like a cool orange. Is that a thing? Normally oranges are warm, right? If it's the fruit, though, that can be cool. Alright. So, we were ready to get back into it? Nice. Keitanamore would be a deep red. Almost crimson. Nice. I could see that. That suits you well. I like to think maybe Cramples would be yellow? Banana yellow? Thanks, man. I really do appreciate that. And I love you bunches. Wink. Wonk. Mwah. Mwah. Alright, well, without further ado, getting towards the 2-hour mark, which is normally when I shut things down, but I do still want to get this other chapter in, so if you guys are willing, I am super down. Let's jump into it. Again, this is Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief, by Rick Riordan. We take a zebra to Vegas. The war god was waiting for us in the diner parking lot.
Well, well,
He said.
you didn't get yourself killed.
You knew it was a trap, I said. Ares gave me a wicked grin.
Bet that crippled blacksmith was surprised when he netted a couple of stupid kids. You looked good on TV.
I shoved the shield at him. You're a jerk. Annabeth and Grover caught their breath. Ares grabbed the shield and spun it in the air like a pizza dough. It changed form, melting into a bulletproof vest. He slung it across his back.
See that truck over there?
He pointed to an 18-wheeler parked across the street from the diner.
That's your ride. Take you straight to L.A. with one stop in Vegas.
The 18-wheeler had a sign on the back, which I could read only because it was reverse printed, white on black. A good combination for dyslexia. Kindness International. Humane Zoo Transport. Warning. Live wild animals. I said, "You're kidding." Harry snapped his fingers. The back door of the truck unlatched.
Free ride west, punk. Stop complaining. And here's a little something for doing the job.
He slung a blue nylon backpack off his handlebars and tossed it to me. Inside were fresh clothes for all of us. $20 in cash, a pouch full of golden drachmas, and a bag of double-stuffed Oreos. I said, "I don't want your lousy—" "Thank you, Lord Ares," Grover interrupted, giving me his best red alert warning look. "Thanks a lot." I gritted my teeth. It was probably a deadly insult to refuse something from a god, but I didn't want anything that Ares had touched. Reluctantly, I slung the backpack over my shoulder. I knew my anger was being caused by the War of God's presence, but I was still itching to punch him in the nose. He reminded me of every bully I'd ever faced. Nancy Bobofit, Clarice, Smelly Gabe, sarcastic teachers, every jerk who called me stupid in school or laughed at me when I'd gotten expelled. I looked back at the diner, which had only a couple of customers now. The waitress who'd served us dinner was watching nervously out the window, like she was afraid Ares might hurt us. She dragged the fry cook out from the kitchen to see. She said something to him. He nodded, held up a little disposable camera, and snapped a picture of us. Great, I thought. We'll make the papers again. I imagined the headline, 12-year-old outlaw beats up defenseless biker.
You owe me one more thing.
Oh, sorry. This is Percy. You owe me one more thing, I told Ares, trying to keep my voice level. You promised me information about my mother.
You sure you can handle the news?
He kick-started his motorcycle.
She's not dead.
The ground seemed to spin beneath me. What do you mean?
I mean, she was taken away from the Minotaur before she could die. She was turned into a shower of gold, right? That's metamorphosis, not death. She's being kept.
Kept? Why?
You need to study war, punk. Hostages. You take somebody to control somebody else.
Nobody's controlling me. He laughed.
Oh yeah? See you around, kid.
I balled up my fists. You're pretty smug, Lord Ares, for a guy who runs from Cupid statues. Behind his sunglasses, fire glowed. I felt a hot wind in my hair.
We'll meet again, Percy Jackson. Next time you're in a fight, watch your back.
He revved his Harley, then roared off down Delancey Street. Annabeth said, "That was not smart, Percy. I don't care. You don't want a god as your enemy, especially not that god." "Hey guys," Grover said. "I hate to interrupt, but..." He pointed toward the diner. At the register, the last two customers were paying their check. Two men in identical black coveralls, with a white logo on their backs that matched the one on the Kindness International truck. "If we're taking the Zoo Express," Grover said, "we need to hurry." I didn't like it, but we had no better option. Besides, I'd seen enough of Denver. We ran across the street and climbed in the back of the big rig, closing the doors behind us. The first thing that hit me was the smell. It was like the world's biggest pan of kitty litter. The trailer was dark inside until I uncapped Unclusmos. The blade cast a faint bronze light over a very sad scene. Sitting in a row of filthy metal cages were three of the most pathetic zoo animals I'd ever beheld. A zebra, a male albino lion, and some weird antelope thing I didn't know the name for. Someone had thrown the lion a snack of turnips, which he obviously didn't want to eat. The zebra and the antelope had each gotten a styrofoam tray of hamburger meat. The zebra's mane was matted with chewing gum, like somebody had been spitting on it in their spare time. The antelope had a stupid silvery birthday balloon tied to one of his horns that read, "Over the hill." Apparently, nobody had wanted to get close enough to the lion to mess with him, but the poor thing was pacing around on soiled blankets, in a space way too small for him. Panting from the snuffy heat of the trailer, he had flies buzzing around his pink eyes, and his ribs showed through his white fur. "This is kindness?" Grover yelled. "Humane zoo transport?" He probably would have gone right back outside to beat up the truckers with his reed pipes, and I would have helped him. But just then the truck's engine roared to life, the trailer started shaking, and we were forced to sit down or fall. We huddled in the corner of some Oh, heck. I almost called it mildewed. It's mildewed. Dude. We huddled in the corner of some mildewed feet sacks, trying to ignore the smell and the heat and the flies. Grover talked to the animals in a series of goat bleats, but they just stared at him sadly. Annabeth was in favor of breaking the cages and freeing them on the spot, but I pointed out it wouldn't do much good until the truck stopped moving. Besides, I had a feeling we might look a lot better to the lion than those turnips. I found a water jug and refilled their bowls, then used Unclusmos to drag the mismatched food out of their cages. I gave the meat to the lion and the turnips to the zebra and antelope. Grover calmed the antelope down, while Annabeth used her knife to cut the balloon off his horns. She wanted to cut the gum out of the zebra's mane, too, but we decided that would be too risky, with the truck bumping around. We told Grover to promise the animals we'd help them more in the morning. Then we settled down for the night. Grover curled up on a turnip snack. Annabeth opened our bag of double-stuffed Oreos and nibbled on one half heartily. I tried to cheer myself up by concentrating on the fact we were halfway to Los Angeles, halfway to our destination. It was only June 14th. The solstice wasn't until the 21st. We could make it in plenty of time. On the other hand, I had no idea what to expect next. The gods kept toying with me. At least Hephaestus had the decency to be honest about it. He put up cameras and advertised me as entertainment. But even when the cameras weren't rolling, I had a feeling my quest was being watched. I was a source of amusement for the gods. "Hey," Annabeth said. Sorry for freaking out back at the water park, Percy." "That's okay. It's just..." She shuddered. "Spiders." Because of the Arachne story, I guessed. She got turned into a spider for challenging your mom to a weaving contest, right? Annabeth nodded. Arachne's children have been taking revenge on the children of Athena ever since. If there's a spider within a mile of me, it'll find me. I hate the creepy little things. Anyway, I owe you. We're a team, remember? I asked. Besides, Grover did the fancy flying. I thought he was asleep, but he mumbled from the corner. I was pretty amazing, wasn't I? Annabeth and I laughed. She pulled apart an Oreo, handed me half. In the Iris message, did Luke really say nothing? I munched my cookie and thought about how to answer. The conversation via Rainbow had bothered me all evening. Luke said you and he go way back. He also said Grover wouldn't fail this time. Nobody would turn into a pine tree. In the dim bronze light of the sword blade, it was hard to read their expressions. Grover let out a mournful bray. I should have told you the truth from the beginning. His voice trembled. I thought if you knew what a failure I was, you wouldn't want me along. You were the satyr who tried to rescue Thalia, the daughter of Zeus. He nodded glumly. And the other two half-bloods, Thalia befriended, the ones who got safely to camp? I looked at Annabeth. That was you and Luke, wasn't it? She put down her Oreo, uneaten. Like you said, Percy, a 7-year-old half-blood wouldn't have made it very far alone. Athena guided me toward help. Thalia was 12, Luke was 14. They'd both run away from home, like me. They were happy to take me with them. They were amazing monster fighters, even without training. We traveled north from Virginia without any real plans, fending off monsters for about 2 weeks before Grover found us. I was supposed to escort Thalia to camp, he said, sniffling. Only Thalia. I had strict orders from Chiron. Don't do anything that would slow down the rescue. We knew Hades was after her, see? But I couldn't just leave Luke and Annabeth by themselves. I thought I could lead all of them to safety. It was my fault the kindly ones got up with us. I froze. I got scared on the way back to camp and took some wrong turns. If I'd just been a little quicker... Stop it, Annabeth said. No one blames you. Thalia didn't blame you either. She sacrificed herself to save us, he said miserably. Her death was my fault. The council of the Cloven Elders said so. Because you wouldn't leave two other half-bloods because you wouldn't leave two other half-bloods behind, I said. That's not fair. Percy's right, Annabeth said. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for you, Grover. Neither would Luke. We don't care what the council says. Grover kept sniffling in the dark. It's just my luck. I'm the lamest satyr ever. And I find the two most powerful half-bloods of the century, Thalia and Percy. You're not lame, Annabeth insisted. You've got more courage than any satyr I've ever met. Name one other who would dare go to the underworld. I bet Percy is really glad you're here right now. She kicked me in the shin. Yeah, I said, which I would have done even without the kick. It's not luck that you found Thalia and me, Grover. You've got the biggest heart of any satyr I've seen. You're a natural searcher. That's why you'll be the one who finds Pan. I heard a deep, satisfied sigh. I waited for Grover to say something, but his breath only got heavier. When the sound turned to snoring, I realized he'd fallen asleep. How does he do that? I marveled. I don't know, Annabeth said. But that was a really nice thing you told him. I mean it. We rode in silence for a few miles, bumping around on the feed sacks. The zebra munched a turnip. The lion licked the last of the hamburger meat off his lips and looked at me hopefully. Annabeth rubbed her necklace like she was thinking deep, strategic thoughts. That pine tree bead, I said. Is that from your first year? She looked. She hadn't realized what she was doing. Yeah, she said. Every August, the counselors picked the most important event of the summer, and they painted on the year's bead. I've got Thalia's pine tree, a Greek trireme on fire, or a Greek trireme on fire, a centaur in a prom dress. Now that was a weird summer. And the college ring is your father's. That's none of your... She stopped herself. Yeah, it is. You don't have to tell me. No. It's okay. She took a shaky breath. My dad sent it to me folded up in a letter 2 summers ago. The ring was like his main keepsake from Athena. He wouldn't have gotten through his doctoral program at Harvard without her. That's a long story. Anyway, he said he wanted me to have it. He apologized for being a jerk, said he loved me and missed me. He wanted me to come home and live with him. That doesn't sound so bad. Yeah, well, the problem was I believed him. I tried to go home for that school year, but my stepmom was the same as ever. She didn't want her kids put in danger by living with a freak. Monsters attacked. We argued. Monsters attacked. We argued. I didn't even make it through the winter break. I called Chiron and came right back to Camp Half-Blood. You think you'll ever try living with your dad again? She wouldn't meet my eyes. Please. I'm not into self-inflicted pain. You shouldn't give up, I told her. You should write him a letter or something. Thanks for the advice, she said coldly. My father's made his choice about who he wants to live with. We passed another few miles in silence. So, if the gods fight, I said, will things line up the way they did with the Trojan War? Will it be Athena versus Poseidon? She put her head against the backpack Ares had given to us and closed her eyes. I don't know what my mom will do. I just know I'll fight next to you. Why? Because you're my friend, seaweed brain. Any more stupid questions? I couldn't think of an answer for that. Fortunately, I didn't have to. Annabeth was asleep. I had trouble following her example, with Grover snoring and the albino lion staring hungrily at me. But eventually, I closed my eyes. My nightmare started out as something I'd dreamed a million times before. I was being forced to take a standardized test while wearing a straitjacket. All the other kids were going out to recess, and the teacher kept saying, "Come on, Percy, you're not stupid, are you? Pick up your pencil." Then the dream strayed from the usual. I looked over at the next desk and saw a girl sitting there, also wearing a straitjacket. She was my age, with unruly black, punk-style hair, dark eyeliner around her stormy green eyes, and freckles across her nose. Somehow, I knew who she was. She was Thalia, daughter of Zeus. She struggled against the straitjacket, glaring at me in frustration, and snapped. "Well, seaweed brain, one of us has to get out of here." She's right, my dream self thought. I'm going back to that cavern. I'm going to give Hades a piece of my mind. The straitjacket melted off me. I fell through the classroom floor. The teacher's voice changed until it was cold and evil, echoing from the depths of a great chasm.
Percy Jackson,
it said.
Yes, the exchange went well, I see.
I was back in the dark cavern, spirits of the dead drifting around me. Unseen in the pit, the monstrous thing was speaking, but this time it wasn't addressing me. The numbing power of its voice seemed directed somewhere else.
And he suspects nothing?
It asks. Another voice, one I almost recognized, answered at my shoulder. Nothing, my lord. He is as ignorant as the rest. Oh. Nothing, my lord. He is as ignorant as the rest. I looked over, but no one was there. The speaker was invisible.
Deception upon deception,
the thing in the pit mused aloud.
Excellent.
Truly, my lord, said the voice next to me. You are well named the Crooked One. But was it really necessary? I could have brought you what I stole directly.
You,
the monster said in scorn.
You have already shown your limits. You would have failed me completely had I not intervened.
But, my lord...
Peace, little servant. Our 6 months have brought us much. Zeus's anger has grown. Poseidon has played his most desperate card. Now we shall use it against him. Shortly, you shall have the reward you wish, and your revenge, as soon as both items are delivered into my hands. But wait. He is here.
What? The invisible servant suddenly sounded tense. You summoned him, my lord?
No.
The full force of the monster's attention was now pouring over me, freezing me in place.
Blast his father's blood. He is too changeable, too unpredictable. The boy brought himself hither.
Impossible, the servant cried.
For a weakling such as you, perhaps, the voice snarled, then in cold power turned back on me. So, you wish to dream of your quest, young half-blood. Then I will oblige.
The scene changed. I was standing in a vast throne room with black marble walls and bronze floors. The empty, horrid throne was made of human bones fused together. Standing at the foot of the dais was my mother, frozen in shimmering golden light, her arms outstretched. I tried to step towards her, but my legs wouldn't move. I reached for her, only to realize my hands were withering to bones. Grinning skeletons in Greek armor crowded around me, draping me with silk robes, wreathing my head with laurels that smoked with chimera poison, burning into my scalp. The evil voice began to laugh.
Hail, the conquering hero.
I woke with a start. Grover was shaking my shoulder. "The truck stopped," he said. "We think they're coming to check the animals." "Hide!" Annabeth hissed. She had it easy. She just put on her magic cap and disappeared. Grover and I had to dive behind feed sacks and hope we looked like turnips. The trailer doors creaked open. Sunlight and heat poured in. "Man," one of the truckers said, waving his hands in front of his ugly nose. "I wish I hauled appliances. Whew." He climbed inside and poured some water from a jug into the animals' dishes. "You hot, big boy?" he asked the lion, then splashed the rest of the bucket right in the lion's face. The lion roared in indignation. Yeah, the man said. Next to me under the turnip sacks, Grover tensed. For a peace-loving herbivore, he looked downright murderous. The trucker threw the antelope a squashed-looking Happy Meal bag. He smirked at the zebra. "How you doing, Stripes? Least we'll get rid of you this stop. You like magic shows? You're gonna love this one. They're gonna saw you in half." The zebra, wild-eyed with fear, looked straight at me. There was no sound, but as clear as day I heard it say, "Free me, Lord. Please." I was too stunned to react. There was a loud knock, knock, knock. On the side of the trailer. The trucker inside with us yelled, "What do you want, Eddie?" The voice outside, it must have been Eddie's, shouted back, "Maurice! What'd you say?" "What are you banging for?" Outside, Eddie yelled, "What banging?" Our guy Maurice rolled his eyes and went back outside, cursing at Eddie for being an idiot. A second later, Annabeth appeared next to me. She must have done the banging to get Maurice out of the trailer. She said, "This transport business can't be legal." "No kidding," Grover said. He paused as if listening. "The lion says these guys are animal smugglers." "That's right," the zebra's voice said in my mind. "We've got to free them," Grover said. He and Annabeth both looked at me, waiting for my lead. I'd heard the zebra talk, but not the lion. Why? Maybe it was another learning disability? I could only understand zebras? Then I thought, horses. What had Annabeth said about Poseidon creating horses? Was a zebra close enough to a horse? Was that why I could understand it? The zebra said, "Open my cage, Lord, please. I'll be fine after that." Outside, Eddie and Maurice were still yelling at each other, but I knew they'd be coming inside to torment the animals again any minute. I grabbed Riptide and slashed the lock off of Zebra's cage. The zebra burst out. It turned to me and bowed. "Thank you, Lord." Grover held up his hands and said something to the zebra in goat talk, like a blessing. Just as Maurice was poking his head back inside to check out the noise, the zebra leaped over him and into the street. There was yelling and screaming and cars honking. We rushed to the doors of the trailer in time to see the zebra galloping down a wide boulevard lined with hotels and casinos and neon signs. We just released a zebra in Las Vegas. Maurice and Eddie ran after it, with a few policemen running after them, shouting, "Hey! You need a permit for that!" "Now would be a good time to leave," Annabeth said. "The other animals first," Grover said. I cut the locks with my sword. Grover raised his hands and spoke to them with the same goat blessing he'd used for the zebra. "Good luck," I told the animals. The antelope and the lion burst out of their cages and went off together into the streets. Some tourists screamed. Most just backed off and took pictures, probably thinking it was some kind of stunt from one of the casinos. "Will the animals be okay?" I asked Grover. "I mean, the desert and all." "Don't worry," he said. "I placed a satyr sanctuary on them." "Meaning?" "Meaning they'll reach the wild safely," he said. "They'll find water, food, shade, whatever they need until they find a safe place to live." "Why can't you place a blessing like that on us?" I asked. "It only works on wild animals." "So it would only affect Percy," Annabeth reasoned. "Hey!" I protested. "Kidding," she said. "Come on, let's get out of this filthy truck." We stumbled out into the desert afternoon. It was 110 degrees easy, and we must have looked like deep-fried vagrants, but everybody was too interested in the wild animals to pay much attention to us. We passed the Monte Carlo and the MGM. We passed pyramids, a pirate ship, and the Statue of Liberty, which was a pretty small replica, but still made me homesick. I wasn't sure what we were looking for. Maybe just a place to get out of the heat for a few minutes, find a sandwich and a glass of lemonade, make a new plan for getting west. We must have taken a wrong turn, because we found ourselves at a dead end, standing in front of the Lotus Hotel and Casino. The entrance was a huge neon flower, the petals lighting up and blinking. No one was out, no one was going in or out, but the glittering chrome doors were open, spilling out air conditioning that smelled like flowers. Lotus blossom, maybe. I'd never smelled one, so I wasn't sure. The doorman smiled at us. "Hey, kids, you look tired. You want to come in and sit down?" I'd learned to be suspicious the last week or so. I figured anybody might be a monster or a god. You just couldn't tell. But this guy was normal. One look at him and I could see. Besides, I was so relieved to hear somebody who sounded sympathetic that I nodded and said, "We'd love to come in." Inside, we took one look around, and Grover said, "Whoa." The whole lobby was a giant game room. And I'm not talking about cheesy old Pac-Man games or slot machines. There was an indoor water slide snaking around the glass elevator, which went straight up at least 40 floors. There was a climbing wall on the side of one building and an indoor bungee jumping bridge. There were virtual reality suits with working laser guns and hundreds of video games, each one the size of a widescreen TV. Basically, you name it, this place had it. There were a few other kids playing, but not that many. No waiting for any of the games. There were waitresses and snack bars all around, serving every kind of food you can imagine. "Hey!" "Hey!" a bellhop said. At least, I guessed he was a bellhop. He wore a white and yellow Hawaiian shirt with Lotus designs, shorts, and flip-flops. "Welcome to Lotus Casino. Here's your room key." I stammered, but... No, he said, laughing. "The bill's taken care of. No extra charges, no tips. Just go on up to the top floor, room 400. Or room 400I. If you need anything, like extra bubbles for the hot tub, or skeet targets for the shooting range, or whatever, just call the front desk. Here are your Lotus cash cards. They work in the restaurants, and on all the games and rides." He handed us each a green plastic card. I knew there must be some mistake. Obviously, he thought we were some millionaire's kids. But I took the card and said, "How much is on here?" His eyebrows knit together. "What do you mean?" I mean, when does it run out of cash? He laughed. Oh, you're making a joke. Hey, that's cool. Enjoy your stay. We took the elevator upstairs and checked out our room. It was a suite with 3 separate bedrooms, and a bar stocked with candy, sodas, and chips, a hotline to room service, fluffy towels, and water beds with feather pillows, a big screen television with satellite and high-speed internet. The balcony had its own hot tub, and sure enough, there was a skeet shooting machine with a shotgun, so you could launch clay pigeons right out over Las Vegas's skyline and plug them with your gun. I didn't see how that could be legal, but I thought it was pretty cool. The view over the strip and the desert was amazing, though I doubted we'd ever find time to look at the view with a room like this. Oh goodness, Annabeth said. This place is sweet, Grover said. Absolutely sweet. There were clothes in the closet, and they fit me. I frowned, thinking that this was a little strange. I threw Aries' backpack in the trash can. Wouldn't need that anymore. When we left, I could just charge a new one at the hotel store. I took a shower, which felt awesome after weeks of grimy travel. I changed clothes, ate a bag of chips, drank 3 Cokes, and came out feeling better than I had in a long time. In the back of my mind, some small problem kept nagging me. I'd had a dream or something. I needed to talk to my friends, but I was sure it could wait. I came out of the bedroom and found that Annabeth and Grover had also showered and changed clothes. Grover was eating potato chips to his heart's content, while Annabeth cranked up the National Geographic channel. All those stations, I told her, and you turn on Natural Geographic. Are you insane? It's interesting. I feel good, Grover said. I love this place. Without even realizing it, the wings sprouted out of his shoes and lifted him a foot off the ground, then back down again. So what now? Annabeth asked. Sleep? Grover and I looked at each other and grinned. We both held up our green plastic Lotus cash cards. Playtime, I said. I couldn't remember the last time I had so much fun. I came from a relatively poor family. Our idea of a splurge was eating out at Burger King and renting a video. A 5-star Vegas hotel? Forget it. I bungee jumped the lobby 5 or 6 times, did the water slide, snowboarded the artificial ski slope, and played virtual reality laser tag and FBI sharpshooter. I saw Grover a few times going from game to game. He really liked the reverse hunter thing, where the deer go out and shoot the rednecks. I saw Annabeth playing trivia games and other brainiac stuff. They had this huge 3D sim game where you build your own city, and you could actually see the holographic buildings rise on the display board. I didn't think much of it, but Annabeth loved it. I'm not sure when I first realized something was wrong. Probably it was when I noticed the guy standing next to me at VR Sharpshooters. He was about 13, I guess, but his clothes were weird. I thought he was some Elvis impersonator's son. He wore bell-bottom jeans and a red t-shirt with black piping, and his hair was permed and gelled like a New Jersey girl's on homecoming night. We played a game of sharpshooters together, and he said, "Groovy, man. Been here 2 weeks, and the games keep getting better and better." Groovy? Later, while we were talking, I said something was sick, and he looked at me kind of startled, as if he'd never heard the word used that way before. He said his name was Darren, but As soon as I started asking him questions, he got bored with me and started to go back to the computer screen. I said, "Hey, Darren." "What?" "What year is it?" He frowned at me. "In the game?" "No, in real life." He had to think about it. 1977. "No," I said, getting a little scared. Really?" "Hey man, bad vibes. I got a game happening." After that, he totally ignored me. I started talking to people, and I found it wasn't easy. They were glued to the TV screen, or the video game, or their food, or whatever. I found a guy who told me it was 1985, another guy who told me it was 1993. They all claimed they hadn't been here very long, a few days, a few weeks, tops. They didn't really know, and they didn't care. Then it occurred to me, how long had I been here? It seemed like only a couple hours, but was it? I tried to remember why we were here. We were going to Los Angeles. We were supposed to find the entrance to the underworld. My mother. For a scary second, I had trouble remembering her name. Sally Jackson. I had to find her. I had to stop Hades from causing World War III. I found Annabeth still building her city. "Come on," I told her. "We've got to get out of here." No response. I shook her. "Annabeth?" She looked up annoyed. "What?" "We need to leave." "Leave? What are you talking about?" "I've just got the towers. This place is a trap." She didn't respond until I shook her again. "What?" "Listen. The underworld. Our quest." "Oh, come on, Percy. Just a few more minutes." "Annabeth, there are people here from 1977. Kids who have never aged. You check in, and you stay forever." "So?" she asked. "Can you imagine a better place?" I grabbed her wrist and yanked her away from the game. "Hey!" She screamed and hit me, but nobody else even bothered looking at us. They were too busy. I made her look directly in my eyes. I said, "Spiders. Large, hairy spiders." That jarred her. Her vision cleared. "Oh my gods," she said. "How long have we—" "I don't know, but we've got to find Grover." We went searching and found him still playing virtual deer hunter. "Grover!" we both shouted. He said, "Die, human! Die, silly, polluting, nasty person!" "Grover!" He turned the plastic gun on me and started clicking as if I were just another image from the screen. I looked at Annabeth, and together we took Grover by the arms and dragged him away. His flying shoes sprang to life and started tugging his legs in the other direction as he shouted, "No! I just got to a new level! No!" The Lotus bellhop hurried up to us. "Well now, are you ready for your platinum cards?" "We're leaving," I told him. "Such a shame," he said, and I got the feeling that he really meant it. That we'd be breaking his heart if we went. We just added an entire new floor of games for platinum card members. He held out the cards and I wanted one. I knew that if I took one, I'd never leave. I'd stay here, happy forever, playing games forever. And soon, I'd forget my mom, and my quest, maybe even my own name. I'd be playing virtual riflemen with groovy Disco Darren forever. Grover reached for the card, but Annabeth yanked back his arm and said, "No thanks." We walked toward the door, and as we did, the smell of the food and sounds of the games seemed to get more and more inviting. I thought about our room upstairs. We could just stay the night, sleep in a real bed for once. Then we burst through the doors of the Lotus Casino and ran down the sidewalk. It felt like afternoon, about the same day we'd gone into the casino. But something was wrong. The weather had completely changed. It was stormy, with heat lightning flashes out in the desert. Aries' backpack was slung over my shoulder, which was odd, because I was sure I had thrown it in the trash can of room 400I. But at the moment, I had other problems to worry about. I ran to the nearest newspaper stand and read the year first. Thank the gods. It was the same year it had been when we went in. Then I noticed the date. June 20th. We had been in the Lotus Casino for 5 days. We had only 1 day left until the summer solstice. 1 day to complete our quest. Well, I remember that chapter 2 actually quite well. I think it's because it had a lasting impact when I was younger. So I was like, oh, dude, if only the Lotus place was real. Oh, God. Big oof, man, honest. How could they have known, though? How could they have known? Yeah. I mean, do you guys think you would have been sucked in? Wound up spending years and years and years in there, never to leave? If they had every vice you could ever want. Yeah. I mean, it seems like heaven, right? Or what I've pictured heaven as in the past, you know? Just this place where everyone is at all times satisfied, joyful, and content, right? I think another reason why that chapter was so impactful to me when I was younger was because they left. They actually said no and got the heck out of there. I mean, the Constitution one must have to do that. The self-control. That's admirable, I'd say. Yeah, and I've had my bouts with self-control. Certainly. Still do. And I'm sure I'm not the only one in that boat. Man, that was good though. I'm trying to remember. They find out who that was, right? The bellhop, and what that place actually was. I think they do in the next chapter, right? They think through it, and Annabeth knows or something. I'm excited to see where that comes from, because I have a vague idea. No, I don't think it's correct. I'm excited to figure out what it is, though. Next up, we'll have Chapter 17. We shop for waterbeds. Oh no, the spoilies. Check it out, guys. We got just a short bit left. Like I said, we're bound to finish this by Thursday. Whoo! Woo! Shoot, I feel like that woo was half-hearted. Woo! It was a little better. I liked my voice for the for the truck dudes. Hooey! Look at these dumb animals. That was fun. But what's next? You mean right now, or what's next on the next episode, or the next edition of Merry Mitch, or the next stream? Or do you mean, yeah, like right now, what is next? Oh, what's after this book? Well, my friend, uh, I'm thinking we'll jump to the next book in the series, right? The Sea of Monsters. That was my plan, at least. Unless for some reason we are suddenly despising dear old Perseus. um, or I mean, if we really do want to break from it, I could maybe do a one shot for, like, a singular book, one that doesn't have a sequel or a follow up. Like one that would last maybe well, I don't know, if it's a thick book, it would last as long as this one has. So it'd be at least like a month before we would jump into the next one. That's my one worry, is that I do think I want to stick to a series until we follow it through. Otherwise, it could be likely that we wouldn't see it again, or when we do pick it up, there would be a lot of catch up. No mustard. Yeah, the lost hero is a biggie. But those, I feel his writing got better as it progressed, in my opinion. Because I started reading that one to my folks before I read this one, the lost hero, that is, and it brought back just even more memories. I love that one so much, because imagine this, right? I finish the Percy Jackson series and I'm devastated. I'm like, oh dude, that was so freaking cool. But now, what do I do? What can my eyes behold now? That is not, if it's not Rick Riordan, then what the heck? So I don't. But then I found out that soon enough there would be a new series coming out that followed up the Percy Jackson series. That was a momentous day. It was a momentous day. I think I genuinely I did a woo. I did a I did a woo, but a really genuine one, a sincere woo. I had the sincerest woo that day. That was good. I think, because I'd love to hear what your guys' favorite points of or parts of tonight was. I think my favorite was Ares' voice. That was fun. I tried to do the guy in the pits voice, like the big evil man. I tried to do that better this time. I felt a little uneasy about it though, because my voice, as you can probably tell, is a little raspy. And I think that is partially due to Ares. But I just thought to myself, like, I got it. Like, I think the best thing to do for it is to give it more bass and still have the rar to it. If I can combine those two factors, the bass and the rar, that's what I thought. That's what I thought would make the best evil pit voice. But yeah, do you guys have a favorite part of the night? And get some water. Snoopy, what's that book about? I've been reading it for eons now. I mean, if we're getting close to the end of this one, he's probably getting close to the end of that one too. I wonder what it's about. I'm honestly too scared to reach over and try to take it. And heavens knows he would not offer it to me. He would not do that. I'm not gonna do it. My apologies. He's an intimidating force. Do you see him over there? Maybe, do you think he's a monk or something now? Took a vow of silence? I guess he was silent from the beginning, aside from like a few, like, noises. I know in the cartoons, he didn't speak, but he had like noises, I guess. In the comic panels, though, oh, that's right, it was his thought bubbles. Would you guys like me to put like a thought bubble here? Can have him thinking about stuff. You know, Snoopy's quip of the day or something. I'd like that. Thinking animales. 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 What? Like the thought bubble pop-ups, then it makes Animal Crossing noise. Dude, that would be awesome. If I can figure that out, that would be sick. I'd have to, yeah, I'd have to do some work on that. I imagine it wouldn't be too terribly hard. I'd be like, relax and his cat. Except it would be merrymitch and Snoopy. Do you think I'll get a copyright claim if this channel gets big enough? I hope not. I'd miss that little pup. I can do the noises for him, I think. Those are my Animal Crossing noises. Thank you. Have a good night. Just kidding. I know, man. Can't all be prodigies, or can't all be legendary, or Animal Crossing noise prodigy. Yeah, they'll probably hire me for the next game. Pretty sure about it. I only sent in like 20 applications for this last one, and they probably just didn't get him or something, right? Yeah. It was just 20 applications of me just going. Various pitches. It's very important. Don't forget about it. I feel like I saw at one point the way that they actually put together those noises is quite interesting. They take actual English words, right, and mash them up, and I forget exactly how it works, but I saw a video of how the classic Animal Crossing noises were initially invented and created. There's like a formula for it. Yeah, precisely. Then it's sped up or something. I don't know. But yeah. Alright guys, this one's gone. pretty darn long. I try to keep my streams to about 3 hours, unless it's a Friday or Saturday. So this little Mary Mitchie is tired, or at least ready to call it a night for the stream. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know Ketanamore and Cramples have been here, and I love you too, bunches. My little red wildflower, almost crimson, and my little yellow banana boy. Wow. I love you guys. And whoever that third viewer is out there, I love you too. You could also be a wildflower, if you so wished it. Heck yeah. Alright. Much love. I'm gonna end the stream again with the blackout. I'll still play my actual, ending outro over it, but I won't have my actual, this thing. I'm gonna just cut it to black. But if you want to stay for it, know that's, I don't know, something that is in it's in support of it's in support of the movement that's going around lately, that is in support of black rights and just in general, I guess. And I don't feel comfortable speaking to it because I don't know much about what is happening or going on, but I know that I want to do something. This is what I can do. So stay with me if you like. I would appreciate it. And without further ado, I will say adieu and see you next time. I'm excited for Friday and Saturday. I'm compiling some short stories. If you guys have any suggestions, please send them my way. I would love to know. I have a H.P. Lovecraft one in the selection, which I'm pretty excited for. And yeah, a couple of others. I finally figured out names for them. We're gonna do Freaky Fridays and Sci-Fi Saturdays. So the Freaky Fridays will be, the scary stories, and the Sci-Fi Saturdays will be, just anything sci-fi. Oh, do you want to know, or would you rather it be a surprise? This was the one, right? Yeah. Okay. It is. If anybody doesn't want to know, cover your ears, plug them up, take off your ears, throw them out, but not too far away, because you'll need to go grab them in a second. Alright, that's probably given enough time. It's gonna be The Picture in the House by H.P. Lovecraft. I don't really know anything too much about it, but it seems cool, and it is of a good length for the show, so I'm excited. I think it'll be a cool one. If it was as good as that other one, I think we're in for good things. Dude, Nightbot, I unmodded you. And you still show up like a phantom in the night. Maybe it's because I didn't capitalize it. What? Oh, can you unmod him, Coleman? For some reason it says that I'm not a moderator. What? I'm highly confused. I know, nobody can do all caps. I want him gone. Yeah, it is a bot. I can go and change the settings. I just haven't done that yet. I will do that though. Yeah, precisely. I gotta go jump into the settings, so we'll do that tomorrow, so that it don't delete all my peeps' messages. Oh snap! That's the one you're on in your book. Heck yeah, Keaton. Are you gonna wait till? I think I'll do it on Friday. I think it fits in Freaky Friday better than Sci-Fi Saturday. I think some of his like fit into sci-fi ish territory, but for the most part, if we're doing H.P. Lovecraft, it'll be on Friday. Right on. Okay. I think I'm done rambling and ready to call it. You certainly don't have to. I would say only wait if you want to experience it fresh and new along with me. But that is not my decision to make. But if you do read it and it turns out to be poopy doo doo garbage, let me know. Nice. Okay. I don't expect it to be poopy doo doo garbage. So nice. Yeah, that'll be cool. Either one, man. Either one. I trust reviews and junk. And this one came from this website that I found that is really helping me out lately, which is americanliterature.com. Which is a place where I've found a lot of short stories. They have a lot of good recommendations. It's okay, man. You got time. You got time. Don't let it keep you up or nothing. Yeah. Okay. I do this. I feel like I do this each time. I say goodbye for like a solid 10 minutes at least. It's because I don't want to go. Secretly, I don't want to go. I like being with you guys. Yeah. But alas, good things come to an end. So, truly, without further ado, I'll call it a night here. Alright, I love you guys bunches, and stay safe out there. Be sure to get up and stretch. Go take a breath of the night air or something. Do something uncomfortable. It's good for you. It hones character and growth. Yeah, those are my recommendations, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I've switched up the time. No longer I think previously it was 7:30, but it's now going to be 8 or 8:30, around that time, on Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 to 8:30, or 8 or 8:30 is the starting point. Check Discord or my Twitter to know for sure. I know, man. Too true. Hard to say goodbye to Franz. Alright. Bye-bye. Love you guys. Peace. Wait. Now, something that helps me is if I like start the music, and then I truly know, okay, this is the time to fade out to black and go. Alright. Bye.